Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
I'm going to ask you a question, Mr. Magazine, which usually makes these videos a little bit better.
Okay, I'm ready.
I want you to talk about, in regards to online selling,
Okay.
both the evolution of, for you, the evolution of overall, and the like, customer service. What does it mean to you, and how has it evolved throughout the years, and what is required for customer service at this point, and is there such a thing as too much?
Sometimes you have to have too much customer service depending on the customer. But if we go back 12 or 15 years, Mr. Magazine customer service was not as good as it is nowadays.
I would agree.
Cared a little less. Obviously, sales were less, but also pushed things aside, took long to solve the customer's problems. And I don't know how many years ago it was, 17 years ago, I got kicked off eBay for a month because our rating went down, a lot of negatives, shipping things out late, not properly shipping, not answering emails. But as I learned as I took over my father's company, around the same time, basically, 17, 18 years ago, they got the retail store, the laundromat, it was all, I was controlling it all now, it was all on me. I had to make sure I keep these customers. And even with the laundromat, I cared more after the fact that I got to make them happy. They lost $2. All right, I'm going to give them a refund. I'm going to give them a refund ASAP, and I'm going to be real nice to them so they keep coming back. And the same thing with eBay. You got to, now we answer the questions immediately almost. We pay full attention to it, solve the problem as soon as possible, give them refunds, partial refunds, whatever makes them happy. And, our rating's not 100% or 99.9, but it is 99.5, which has been a big improvement from 17 years ago. I think we were in the 97 range, which isn't even that bad nowadays, but it was horrible back then. So, but be nice to your customers. Even we get a lot of crazy customers. No offense, that they'll buy something at 8 a.m. and 9 o'clock they want tracking. And they don't realize that we're not some person working in their basement. We got a million items. 15 employees.
Those darn basement workers.
And there's a system. We have a system where we're printing orders, we're packing them in the order we get them, and then, if someone pays at 8:30 in the morning and we already printed our orders for the day, it may not get packed and shipped out till the next day. So we might not have tracking to the next day, but at least I won't ignore their question. I'll answer them back and say, hey, we got your, we're going to pull your item today. It'll be in the system tomorrow by 5 p.m. And then I also will tell them, per eBay policy, we need to ship it out within 2 business days with tracking. We'll certainly do that, so then they know. Because if they're newbies, sometimes they might get nervous. Or, hey, we even have people call up.
Oh, wow.
Our for the website orders and stuff, like, I need tracking. Or I bought the wrong item, And sometimes, like, I really don't want to. If it's already packed up, I don't really want to put the time into it and say it just went out. But now I will actually open the item, we'll swap it out, we'll make them happy because I know they're going to be coming back. Where in the old days I would just ship it out and say, oops, sorry, because it does take time and money to, pull the item back, open it up, repack it and stuff like that. But we are certainly put a lot more attention in making customers happy.
Now, is there such a thing as too much customer service?
There is, but I think you have to do it. Like, if you want to keep them happy, there's guys that are just impossible. So those, they're not going to be happy no matter what. Or I want tracking now, which is not going to happen. So those people, if they're spending money and they're repeat customers, I will probably make the extra effort. But if it's some new customer spending $10 on something that we discounted and they want, I want fragile written on the package, I want double cardboard, I want it boxed, sometimes it's not worth meeting those needs. But then again, I will try to explain to them that, hey, we ship this out, a $10 item, bubble mailer, 1 cardboard, we can put fragile on there, but we can't put any more money into the packaging and stuff. That's just how our policy is, and hopefully they're fine with that moving on. And then we get people that from the DVD site, they want discounts, and I'll say, okay, I'll give you a discount that's one time, it's 10%, but I don't want to make a habit of it because then they expect discounts every time. And it's not a site we discount because we sell 30, 40, 50 items a day. All our other customers are happy that we're the lowest on there. We undercut everyone. We have the best products, cheapest prices. Why am I discounting it? So I get one guy that, he wanted a discount. I said, I'll do it one time, but that's it. And then they did it. They're happy.
I would say you do not offer customer service to the pure definition at times. And I would say that you're right not to. And that is me contacting you and wanting to know a record and wanting you to play it to know how it sounds.
Right.
Or me asking you, hey, in this magazine, can you look if on page 27, or even worse, somewhere in the 1950s, one of the magazines had this picture. Can you check all of your magazines of that title from the 1950s?
I got that all beat. I got you blown out
Go
of the
ahead.
water.
Go ahead.
I have a customer, and a repeat customer, spends money on DVDs on the adult site. And he got one, say he bought 30, and one came in and it was skipping.
Okay.
Now he wants us to play every scene and actually watch the whole movie for skips.
Now, how many employees offered to take that to do that job for you?
Well, I think I did it with an expensive movie, and we didn't watch the movie. I just told my employee, okay, there's 4, 5, 6 scenes. Just go to each one. And they say it cost me a few dollars to do it, but it was, say, a $50 or $100 movie. And it doesn't happen all the time. But if someone actually says, I have this $50, $100 movie and it's skipping, okay, well, we need you to return it, because a lot of times these guys want to keep it for free. I go, no, if anything over $20, you got to return it. And then we'll check and see. And half the time, maybe it just didn't work in his player and it works in ours, and then we'll relist it and give him a refund.
Right.
But we want to make sure they're giving us back the product, and then we'll check the product depending on the value.
Right.
But yeah, we possibly, who would think that we're going to sit through a movie and watch every scene for skippage? I don't know if that's a word, but I made it a word right now.
You did. We all understood what you meant.
Yeah.
I kind of brought this up just because you have to differentiate yourself, and it's amazing how many people on there are, 97%, 96%, things like that over there. And it seems like the sites, as they've gotten more difficult to sell on, have kind of weeded those people out, because I think those people aren't making the money that they think that they should.
Yeah.
Now, part of it might be, and I'm just going to use eBay as the example, part of it might be that they've been throttled in eBay search because they have a lot of negatives or a lot of problems. So if they're not being seen by as many people, they're not selling as many items. And at some point, they're like, I'm putting all this work into this and I'm not making any sales. Why am I on this site? And they find somewhere else to try to sell.
Sure.
That's most of your competitors. And you do have to also remember that there are a lot of competitors on there who are the way that I used to be, which is they had a day job. Well, if you got a day job and a family, I don't have nearly as many items as you have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still tough to fit in, especially for somebody wanting to know if there's a recipe in a good housekeeping. And those are questions that I've actually gotten. Now, there are times where I actually will look. If it was recently listed and easy to be found, I'll be like, let me go check.
Yeah.
But if it's packed away somewhere, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm really not set up to do that, which, again, is not great customer service.
Right.
But the flip side of it is, if I've got it listed for $12, how much time am I going to put into it?
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee they're going to buy it anyway.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Now, I will find, and I don't know if you've seen this or not, Mr. Magazine, you will have some potential buyers, say, I want to know if blah, 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 blah. If it is, I will buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had that or not.
I do, and I get that a lot with magazines that have posters or inserts in them. Because I say a customer bought one and it wasn't in there. It's funny, we just had a customer buy a $50 magazine in the site. And he goes, it didn't come with the pull-out poster. And I said, well, let me check. I go, because it is $50. I don't want to refund. I go, we do have another one. Let me just make sure it's got the poster, and then you can return it for this one. So I get the magazine. Well, nowhere on the cover does it say pull-out poster. Now, I was going to offer him 50% refund to keep it. If I didn't have one, that's usually my policy. If it's missing pages or something, I'll say, to save the shipping trouble, give you 50% off. So if I do have it, you can return it for the correct one. So nowhere on the cover does it say with poster. I looked inside, no poster. I had another one. I looked in, no poster. So I said, sir, I really don't think this issue has a pull-out poster. It says it nowhere, and I have 3 issues, and the 4th is the one you bought. 4 issues that don't have it. And he goes, oh, you might be right. Might be a different issue. So here we go. So, it saved me $50 because now he's keeping that one because he knows it's complete. I wasn't going to give him 50% off on a magazine that's complete.
Yeah.
But again, it took a little effort, but it saved me the $50 to refund, replace, and so forth.
Right. Now he's a happy customer as well because now he knows it's complete.
Yeah. But again, I tell this is a mistake we made years ago, not knowing when listers listed wrestling magazines and other magazines that had posters and stuff in them, to mention it. They never mention it. Now they do.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of food for thought there about customer service, how much you should have if there is such a thing as too much. And again, as we said, there indeed is. I can't spend, nobody can spend, an hour looking into finding something out for a $10 magazine that you're not, even if you know the person's going to buy it, you still lost money when you get right down to it. So hopefully that does help you a little bit. Customer service is important though overall, and I think it does end up getting rewarded over time with repeat customers. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Do hit the like button if you could, and we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.